Hello and welcome to the Sister Cousins Lifestyle channel. My name is Sandy, and in today's video we are going to be doing some thrifting, some antiquing and some thrifting. So over the course of the last couple of weeks I have been doing a little bit of traveling, and whenever I travel I love to go check out the thrift scene or the antique stores or home decor places. So I did just that, and I thought I'd bring some of the footage to you to show you some of the beautiful things that I saw. So this first store that we're going into is the Vintage Eastern Market store. This is located in Detroit, Michigan, and this store was packed full of very unique and different items. I had a great time in this store. Now, when I go into antique stores, I'm looking for very unique pieces that can, kind of mesh or go with my current decor style, which is more of your modern aesthetic. But there's some antique or vintage pieces that I really like the way that they look. And I like to create kind of like that transition or eclectic look in my home sometimes. So I'm looking for those types of items. And I'm also just kind of looking at items that take me back to my childhood. So a little bit of reminiscing at the same time. This lamp here is a perfect example of that. This is more of a mid-century modern. I love the shape of that. I just think that is so gorgeous. So that's an example of the types of pieces that I like to kind of mix in with some of my modern decor. So you never know what you're going to find. So you can't judge a book by its cover or look in here and say, oh, this is a bunch of old stuff, because that is absolutely not true. There are always items in here, or in thrift stores, in general vintage stores, antique stores, whatever you want to call them, that you can use. And they're usually at a great price and a much better quality, because they were made at a time where items were made out of real materials, real woods, real, things that you can't get anymore. So I like looking at that type of stuff. I just love quality items at a low price. I also like looking at like little figurines, so things like that you can kind of decorate your shelves with, things like that. This is a really pretty little piece here, very colorful for my maximalist decor stylers. That's really nice. And look at this phone. This was reminiscent of my childhood. We never had a phone this fancy, but I remember the times when that phone was out. I also like to look for glassware and decanters, because they have some of the most beautiful and unique glasses, and they're really that good, thick quality crystal. So really nice pieces. So I always make a effort to take a good look at things like that to add to my collection. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I mentioned that we're in an antique store right now in Detroit. I'm also going to be sharing an antique store that's located in Monroe, North Carolina. And if we have time in this video, I'll also share some things that I found in antique stores in New Orleans. I was there recently. I found so many good things that I don't want to cut New Orleans short. That may be a dedicated video, because there was a lot of things that I love there that I cannot wait to share with you. But for now, we're looking around in here just to kind of see what type of items I may want to take home with me. Wall art is something else that I like to look at when I go into antique stores, whether it be the mask or, art structures, or just regular paintings and things like that. You can find some really nice paintings, acrylic, oil paintings, things like that in thrift stores at great prices. Even if you don't like the frame, or you want to change the frame and put more of a modern frame on it, you can certainly do that. But a lot of times they come with really nice, unique frames as well. So I always take a look at those to see if there are any options that could work for my style. Now, I'm not into taxidermy, but some people are, and I respect that. But a lot of times you can find those items as well. Here's another really nice lamp that's looks like mid-century modern that I really like the base of that. Thought that was really pretty with the amber. And of course, just like with the art, you can replace the frame. You can replace the lampshades on it if you don't like the lampshade. The key is to get the base of the lamp that you really like. So I like looking at those as well. I really like the way they had this display out here with just different types of items on here. So it makes it easy to see and kind of decide what you might want to take a closer look at. In some thrift stores, antique stores, you go in, things are really kind of crammed in there. I like those too because I love the searching and all of that as well. But some days I do appreciate when they have the things kind of laid out where you can really get a chance to see everything. So this was kind of refreshing to see the little setup here. And look at the little bar cart here and the little ashtray. Just so nice. And the decanters, like I said, they have some really nice decanters. Am I the only one that likes to spend your vacation time out thrifting or antiquing? Please comment below and let me know if you do that as well. I just love it. I don't know why, but that's just something I've always loved. And I go through cycles in my lifetime where I'm thrifting or looking for different things because I've gone through a time period where I was always looking for vintage clothes. I used to love vintage clothes, and I would always go looking for that type of thing back when I was in college, and even after that, I would do that. I love that. And then I go through phases where I'm looking for, different things. Now it's mostly for my home. That's my thing, but I have always been a thrifter since I was very, very young. That's just my thing. And I must say, in my home, some of my most favorite pieces that I have in my home have been thrifted. And I just enjoy them so much. I enjoy the story that they tell. Like, I went to this thrift store, this antique store, I found this, and, whatever. That's the story that I'm trying to create with my home. I've been talking about that. And thrifting helps me to do that because, it just gives me something that I've selected, that I'm recycling, keeping things from the landfill, all of those things I love about thrifting. It's just a wonderful thing. And I especially like it when I know the story behind things, which is another reason why I also enjoy going to garage sales. And I always will ask someone, do you know the story behind this, or what's the history on this piece, or whatever. I like that. And even when I've sold things on Facebook Marketplace, I've had people ask me as well. So I know I'm not the only one that does that, but I just kind of like to know, if it's something that I know that is an older piece or whatever, if they know the history on the piece or what year it was from or that type of thing. I just like that kind of stuff. This store had a lot of artwork. I didn't make any purchases at this store, or did I? I don't think I did. I don't know, child, you'll see. But anyway, because I'm doing this voiceover kind of after the fact, I kind of had a couple trips back to back and I was thrifting at all of them. I'm just now editing everything, so we'll see if we bought anything out of here. I don't think I did, though. I recently bought a record player, and so another thing that I look for when I go thrifting are vinyl records to kind of build my collection back up, because I was not one of those that saved my vinyls from back in the day. Lord only knows what happened to them. So I had nothing, and so I've been slowly but surely building my record collection by going to vintage stores, thrift stores, what have you, and finding records to add to my collection. And I've been really, really lucky with that because I haven't purchased anything that's been scratched. They've all been in pristine condition, so that's good. Another thing that I look for when I'm thrifting or antiquing are items that I may be able to use in a different manner than what it was intended. So it could be a bowl or something that I may use as a riser for some other decor piece, or just something like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be used for what it was originally for. It could be an old antique ashtray and you may be able to use that as a decorative bowl or something like that. So I like that too about thrifting. You can find unique pieces that you can find a way to make them, incorporate them into your current style or to use them in different ways. So that's a nice thing too. My thing is really lamps. I just love lamps, and there's so many really, really unique ones. We've got one coming up here with this amber base. That's so pretty to me. I don't like the shade on there, so again, you can change the shade, but that's a beautiful lamp, and it reminds me of something from my childhood. Like, we may have had something like this at one point, or maybe one of my aunts had one. I don't know, but I like the lamp. And for some reason, orange and the browns and those rust colors, copper colors, those are all colors that I'm gravitating to this season for some reasons, and the amber. So I really do like that color a lot. They have this matchbook collection here that I thought was interesting. Yeah, just all these matches here, and you can purchase the lot of them if that's something that you're into. So yeah. So if you're into any type of collectibles, things like that, you definitely can look in antique stores or whatever to try to find things to add to your collection. So if you have, like things that you collect, my mom used to collect little figurines. So great place to find those types of figurines, the little porcelain ones. She used to collect those. She had tons and tons of those. That's something that you can find here. And look at this lamp. Is that not cute? I like that. Now see, this is something probably from the 60s, but it's certainly something that could be added to a place now, and that would just look so different. That would just stand out for a pop of color. Off the subject, but I used to thrift vintage coats. I had a thing for the coats that were from back in the 60s that were like that Persian lamb and maybe a fox collar, that type of thing. I used to be sporting all those type of coats when I lived in Detroit where it was cold, because those coats were so thick. I think I have a couple left, but I got rid of most of them that I used to wear back then. But that was my thing for a while. I had so many coats, it was ridiculous. But I used to thrift them from different vintage stores and things like that. I just thought they were so timeless and so classic. Now, as you're watching here and looking at the items, please comment below. Let me know if you spot any items that you liked or that you thought, you could find a use for in your home. I would love to hear what items caught your eye. Sometimes when I do a walkthrough video like this, I'll get comments about something that maybe I missed, and I'll go back and watch the video again and be like, oh yeah, I didn't see that. So I would love to hear from you what item or items caught your eye. I'm not a cat lover, but I think these are nice for a little plant or pot you could put down in that thing and kind of put them outside or whatever. I think that would be kind of cute. Look at this old milkshake machine. That certainly brings back memories. We never had one, but I think I remember them being like in the drugstores back in the day. Like we had a store called Cunningham's when I was younger, and Woolworths, and they would sell like milkshakes and things like that. Here I am looking at some glasses that caught my eye. I am traveling, so I'm not able to bring anything back, but I thought those were beautiful. It's funny how when you're looking at glasses and even dishes from back in the day, they tend to be so much smaller than what we have today. Like, look at these little wine glasses, I think they are, but look how small they are. Like, yeah, they're really small. Our serving sizes and everything has just grown over the years. So I just find it interesting to look back and see what size things were, in another time period in life, which was normal back then. But for us, it's like, you know what, give me a double glass of wine. All right, so I just remembered there was something that I purchased from this store, and it is this little brass tray here, shaped like a leaf, I think it is. I picked this up because I liked it, and I thought it was a nice play on the current brass leaves that are out now at Pottery Barn for a fraction of the price. I just really liked it. I brought it home, I polished it up, and I'm using it now for a candle holder. So I have a candle in it, and I think it's really cute. I have it at my entryway. I like it a lot. I'll never forget the story behind how I picked it up in this vintage store in Detroit. I thought he's really cute. I really like it a lot. This yellow cabinet there kind of reminds me of my childhood. Our kitchen was yellow when I was a little girl. That was a thing back then. It was yellow. People had harvest green, all avocado green, whatever those colors are. It was kind of funny to kind of go back and look at the colors that we had back then. Appliances were very different back then. And speaking of the sizes of them, they were a lot smaller than the ones that we have today, because we have huge refrigerators. I did a video, this was several years ago, and someone was watching my video from another country, and they were commenting on how huge my refrigerator is, which my refrigerator's really not that big, but in other countries they just don't have appliances that size. Americans, we supersize everything. I love looking at old magazines. These are some ebony magazines from back in the day. I love looking at old Jet magazines from back in the day. So that's another nice thing that I like when I go to thrift stores, if they have like old literature, like magazines, things like that. My sister likes to look for old vintage books. That's her thing. So, if you read a lot or you want to, get like some original manuscripts or whatever, vintage stores, antique stores is a great place to look for those types of things. I remember my grandmother having a dresser like this when I was a kid, and I'm going to tell you, wherever it is now, I bet you it is still structurally sound, because when stuff like that was made back then, it was forever and ever. That was some good stuff. I never cared about history, or I wasn't a sentimental person as a younger person, and probably most younger people aren't. But now I have such a great appreciation for it, and I actually like finding out the history of things in the world, just anything. I just have a real thirst for that type of knowledge now, whereas when I was in school, give me a history class and I was like, ugh, I hated it. But now I actually seek out that type of stuff. Isn't that funny how life changes and you mature and you just have a greater appreciation? And, that's what it's about, I guess, is elevating your life, and doing different things. This piece here sure is pretty. I really like this. I'm not sure what period that is. Maybe Art Deco, mid-century modern. I don't know. And then they have the vintage clothes here. Detroit has always been a city of dressers. And I'm putting that in quotes because it can be kind of outrageous too. But anyway, they have some nice things here to look at. All right, we have covered this store, and it is time for me to go back home to the Carolinas, and we are going to be picking right back up at an antique store located in Monroe, North Carolina. This piece right here is absolutely beautiful. This was the first piece I saw when I walked in the door, and it was so, so pretty. I talked to the owner of the shop, and she was saying that it came in pristine condition. The only thing that she had to do was to add some new velvet material into the interior of the drawers. But it is a beautiful piece. And when I tell you it would take an army to move this thing, it was so, so heavy. And it was not bad price for what you're getting. It's a great size piece. I would use it as a buffet. You could use it as a dresser. I mean, whatever you wanted to use it for. But that is a pretty piece. Now, on this particular day, I was with my mom and my sister, so we were doing a little bit of hopping around to antique stores. So this is a kind of like a costume, antique or vintage costume shop. I'm not sure what it was. It was real interesting. They had a lot of interesting clothing. They had a little bit of stained glass in the windows. They just kind of had some different little pieces in here. Very, very interesting. I love looking at stuff like this, especially the jewelry, because you just never know. You can find some really nice costume jewelry pieces that are very nice. So I was really looking for things like that this particular day. I didn't find anything, but that's the kind of thing I tend to focus on, because the clothes in here, they were just tiny, tiny, tiny. So that was not even going to be an option. They had some cute little glasses, just really cute little accessories and novelty type items that I thought was really nice. Look at these clothes that are going to be showing up here. Look at the waistline on the little dress there, that little red dress, just so tiny. But anyway, it was a fun day. I had my mom and my sister with me, and we just kind of spent the day doing this, and then we went and had a little lunch or whatever, which is, a typical weekend for us. I really like this piece here. It was very, very pricey, but I did take a picture of it and I Google lensed it, and I did find a print of it on Amazon. It's in my cart right now. I don't know if I'll pull the plug and actually purchase it or not, but I think this is a really nice piece. And I don't know if it's because it's an election year. I don't know why. This piece just is speaking to me and I love it. This is not and never will be a political channel, but y'all get out and vote. I love these glasses. I think they're so, so pretty. I just have a thing for stemware. You all already know that if you've been watching my channel. I'm always talking about something glass. This piece here was really pretty as well. I believe it's an oil lamp. Comment below and let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. I don't know. I opened this thing up. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. You put some oil in there and light that up. But that is so, so pretty. I just love that. I probably wouldn't use it as a lamp because it's just so pretty. I would just let it sit there. And I love looking at decanters. They are so unique, and they have some really pretty ones and all different shapes and everything. So I do enjoy those as well. And I saw a bowl like that white one there at Burlington's recently. So yeah, those are, pieces that you could still use today. I mean, you can use all of this stuff today, but I'm saying that they just kind of recreate some of the things. My mom always said there's nothing new under the sun. It all just kind of recycles. We are currently at another vintage store, and this one is in Matthews, North Carolina. I love the way that they have the displays in this one. I really like the way they have the shelves here, and they have the items out where you can really see them and kind of see the potential of the pieces and everything. I like looking at the ones where stuff is all just kind of thrown in and there's a bunch of stuff to kind of, go through. I like that as well. It just depends on my mood, but I really have a great appreciation for an antique store that has things nicely organized where you can actually see everything that's in there. And I'm very consistent with what I'm looking at or focusing on when I go in these shops. I'm always looking at lamps and lighting and, decor pieces, things like that. They always have some of the most unique pieces. I say that so much, don't I? But you get the picture. I love it. I grew up during an era where we always had a china cabinet, and there was china in there that we never ate out of. Every blue moon, my mom would set the table or whatever if there was company there, but we didn't get the chance to eat off the good china. But anyway, you could tell I'm still a little salty about that. My grandkids are starting to learn to play chess, and if they continue to be interested in it, I am going to invest in a nice chess set. But we'll see how long, they're interested in it. Look at this table. It has the live edges on it. It's solid wood. That is a gorgeous table. I don't have anywhere to put it. I wouldn't know how to style it or anything, but I love that. And I'm going to go around here so that you can get a better look at it, because I wanted to see this table from every angle. It is so, so pretty, and solid wood, of course. And it's just a pretty little statement piece. I like that. You all know I'm different, right? Because you're probably looking at that like, girl, what in the world? But I just like that kind of thing. And speaking of china cabinets, this is a cabinet here that I thought was so, so pretty. Kind of like a Asian look to it. I thought this was gorgeous. So I'm going to close the door here so that you can see the handle on there. It's a pretty, pretty piece, and it's a pretty, pretty price, of course. But I just think it's beautiful. Look at the closure on this. That is just gorgeous. I love that. That's pretty. Another piece that I fell in love with is this lamp. Now, I like this lampshade and all. That is a unique piece. It's kind of like, I think it's snake skin or some type of reptile skin. I don't know, but that is a beautiful lamp, and it's so different. You will not see this anywhere else. This is like, one of those one-of-a-kind type of pieces. So pretty, and not a bad price for what you're getting here. I definitely am going to be making note of this particular store. I kind of randomly go to a lot of thrift stores, and I can't always remember the names of them. But this one I'm going to remember because they have a lot of things in here, and I really, really like the way that they had everything laid out, and so many different pieces that, caught my attention. I was in this store this particular day a long time. I wasn't with my mom and sister on this particular day. Do you all remember the Spiegel catalog? I remember this as a child. We we used to get those catalogs. I think my mom used to order things out of that catalog back in the day. But yeah, they had an old Spiegel catalog. That's funny. These are some really pretty marble candle holders. Really, really tall. Very, very nice too. I like those. And marble is just something that is timeless. You get something marble, it is just always going to be in style and always going to be, a vibe in your home. I just love marble. All my life, we had this coffee table that was marble. Before I go get into that story, look at this lamp. Is that not beautiful? Oh my God, that is so different. I love this. If it were up to me, I would have a lamp everywhere in my house. Because I can't decide. I just like all different styles of lamps or whatever. But anyway, back to the marble table. We had a marble table that when we sold my parents' home, we sold the furniture in it and everything. So that table was there. And that's one piece that I really, really regret. But to move it down here, to move furniture in general, is so expensive that it was cheaper for them to repurchase furniture on this end than to try to move all of the furniture here, if that makes any sense. So yeah, but that was a beautiful table and I really miss it. Here are some old vintage ashtrays, and this is a perfect example of something that you can use, now, and maybe put some base filler or something like that in it. So if you have an old ashtray that was maybe your grandmother's or your mom's or whatever, that's a new way to use it that I think is pretty. I love this lamp as well. I'm not one to gravitate towards blue, but that's pretty, and it even has a little blue finial on it. It's the details for me. That's cute. Check out this old typewriter here. I definitely remember the days of typing classes in school. That is so funny. That was a thing to be able to type all these words per minute. That was a thing at a point in life. So interesting. You guys, we have done so much thrifting today. We've crossed state lines and everything. We've been to about 5 different thrift stores. I have lost count. But anyway, if you've enjoyed today's video, be sure to comment below. Let me know that. If you're not currently subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. Over here, we do all things home decor. We do shopping at thrift stores. We do shopping at big box stores, retail stores, all the stores. So if that's something that you enjoy, definitely hit that subscribe button so that you can become a part of my YouTube family. And to all my returning family members, thank you so, so much for your support. I will have another similar video coming up of my thrifting in New Orleans, so definitely don't want to miss that. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you all over here on my next one. Bye-bye.